Hey guys, welcome back to the topic of knits. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to use a walking foot on your sewing machine. A walking foot is an attachment that you can buy, and it would be brand or model specific for your sewing machine. It has feed dogs built into the foot itself so that when you attach it, you have the feed dogs on your sewing machine, throat plate, and then the feed dogs on the walking foot itself that help guide the fabric from both the top and the bottom under the foot as you're sewing. So that will help with the stretching on knit fabrics. It won't pull from the bottom and then keep it on the top of the foot side where it's kind of pulling from two directions at the same time. Instead, it's feeding the fabric through, guiding it from both the top and the bottom at the same time with the same amount of pressure. So let's jump on over to the sewing machine and I'll show you how it works. Here you can see the walking foot sitting in front of my regular presser foot, which is on the machine. So here's the regular presser foot, it's attached to the machine. And then here's the walking foot. And you can see here, these right here are the feed dogs that are part of the top. So as it's sewing, this part will go along up and down and it'll guide the fabric through the presser foot that's attached to this piece. To install the presser foot on this sewing machine is fairly simple. I'm just going to remove the existing presser foot and then attach the walking foot in its place. I just want to be sure that this lever right here is fitted right on the side of the needle. So as the needle goes up and down, this will go up and down, which raises the presser feet and lowers them to guide the fabric from the top side. So then I just lock that in place. So now you can see as I'm lowering the needle, the guides right here are going up and down with the needle, which are also controlling the presser feet right here in the top of the foot. I have a stretch needle installed on the sewing machine right now, and it's just a single needle. But you can see right down in here that there's enough space in the presser foot that I could use a twin needle or even sew with a small zigzag stitch. On my machine, the needle placement defaults right to the center of the opening on the foot. Now to make the most use of these feed dogs, you can see I have one all the way over here on this side, and if I set that so that I have a 1/4 inch seam allowance, it's not really going to be of much use. I'll only be using the one over here on the left side. So I'm just going to move my needle over to the right as close as I can to that edge of that opening. So then I can slide the fabric over and I make use of the feed dogs down here and this side of the feed dog there. So now we have that lined up. And I'll still go ahead and hold these strings in the back. And then you can see right here, we have a nice even stitch line. And there's no puckering, there's no stretching, and the stitches are all nice and smooth in there. Here's another quick tip that you can do with a walking foot. I've installed a twin needle, and I have the sleeve of the baseball t-shirt pressed up a 1/2 inch. So I'm just going to run this through on the machine. I have the hem on the underneath side, so I have this right side up, and I'm going to line this up with my 3/8 inch seam allowance line, and then I'm just going to feed it through, and the twin needle stitch will go right along that folded up raw edge. So there you can see the twin needle hemline on the sleeve of the baseball t-shirt. And then right at the inside, how it creates a zigzag with the bobbin thread, and it's right along that raw edge, which creates a nice finish, and then the sleeve still has a little bit of stretch. Here's a quick tip for finishing the edge of a neck band. I have this piece of knit fabric folded in half, and the raw edges are both right here lined up with the center point of this foot. And I have a coffee filter underneath for stability. I have my machine set to a small zigzag stitch, and I'm just gonna zigzag over the edge so the outside of every zigzag point is gonna pass the raw edges and wrap it. Now usually when I do this with a regular presser foot, this piece itself will stretch out quite a bit. So with the walking foot and the coffee filter, we have a good amount of stability and control. And here you can see I have this sewn down, so now I can just tear this apart from the back side. And I can pull that right out of the zigzag stitching. And then we'll attach this neckband to the top of a t-shirt neckline.